Wintertime can be a depressing time, especially for motorcyclists, with the days getting shorter, cold setting in as we hibernate through the winter. With our bikes stored away in the garage, what do we do to keep us excited for the upcoming season? Motorcycling doesn't have to stop because Mother Nature threw a curve at us. Those are the things that I'm going to be covering on this video and much more, so let's get with it. Hey, how you doing? This is Bronx Brothers Motorcycles and my name is Richie. For those of you that don't know me, I've been riding for 45 years. Currently, I have 8 motorcycles of various types. I have a couple of BMWs, I have 3 Harley Davidsons, and a variety of other bikes. This video you're watching is probably the last group ride of this year. We took a ride through the countryside, and though the weather was nice, as soon as the sun started going down, it got very chilly. So the end of the season is near, especially when you consider all the family stuff coming up. With Thanksgiving and the holidays, there will be no more time for riding. Now, what to do during the winter months to keep us involved in motorcycling? I have a long list of things to cover, so let's go over the list. I'd say 15 years ago I started planning rides during winter for upcoming spring and summer. If you watched my last video, you would have seen I also plan a ride for Florida in late winter. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Also at the end of this video, you will see a link for it. The title of that video is Escape the Cold. There's so many things that we can do through the winter to keep us busy with motorcycling in mind, so let me tell you what I'm talking about. For starters, I imagine the good majority of us wear a helmet. This is the time to take the lining out and give it a good wash. Clean the inside really well as the outside, and maybe put a coat of wax or ceramic coating, whatever it is that you prefer. Maybe you're unaware, but the salts and oil when we sweat that we leave inside the helmet deteriorate the lining of the helmet. It makes it break down much faster than if we gave it a good wash every once in a while. As you all know, salt is very corrosive, and that salt also breaks down the foam. The oil, well, that gets funky smelling after a while. So I tell you what, once you clean your helmet, it feels like you got a brand new helmet. If you haven't done that in a few years, you're going to be amazed. I'm actually going to be doing videos in the upcoming weeks of just that, gear maintenance, which includes everything from helmets, jacket, gloves, boots, and more. So be on the lookout for those videos. I own about 9 or 10 helmets. Then each winter season I give them a good cleaning. I also own a bunch of riding jackets, probably around 10. I also give those proper maintenance, whether they are leather or textile. Riding boots, I have a few. So, that is gear. What else do I do motorcycle related to keep me busy through the winter? I think one of the things that we can do at a slow pace is motorcycle maintenance. Now take this with a grain of salt if you're not mechanically inclined. I don't want to encourage anybody to work on a bike, especially 2 wheels, you're going 100 miles per hour and something comes apart. If you're confident with your ability, then go ahead and do it. Now, I'm talking basic stuff. Checking the tires. If you have a chain or a belt, Harley Davidsons mostly have belts. Check the belt tension on it. Check the chain tension on your bike. Check the brake pads. Check the oil levels. Give it an oil change. Clean it. That's one of the best things you can do. Clean your bike. You know, when you clean your bike, you find so many things You really learn a lot about your bike because you're literally putting your hands on everything. And you may find something or find a loose bolt that otherwise you wouldn't have found. So I detail clean my bike. A lot of times I'll get a little detail brush, some degreaser, and I get into the nooks and crannies of things that I don't normally clean throughout the year when I give it a regular wash. So washing your bike in your garage, you can do it. You put a towel down on the floor, you spray, you brush, and then you wipe off. You wipe off all that excess, and then you get a clean, wet towel, and you wipe it down once. You'll be amazed. Chrome polish. Oh my goodness. Turn that chrome back to its original luster. Get some chrome polish, a nice microfiber towel, and start polishing your chrome. Now don't forget to put a coating over it, either wax or ceramic coating. You know, I will say ceramic coating these days, they sell it in a spray form, and these things work great. They're a little bit on the high side. You could probably pay, what, $25 for a 12-ounce bottle, but it goes a long way. And the main thing with that is, make sure that you're following the instructions. Don't spray too much. Ask me how I know. Always follow the instructions. Ceramic coating goes a long way. It's $25 a small bottle, but just a couple of squirts will do one whole side of a tank. So just to give you an idea. If you need brakes are pretty simple. You can jump on YouTube for your specific bike and watch somebody change the brake pads on that bike. And all you have to do is follow their instruction. Now, one thing I found is a lot of times you'll find 10 videos of the same job. So it is to your benefit that you watch a few of those videos, because some guys, they do hack jobs, and those are the guys I don't want to follow what they say. The more professional guys, those are the guys that I'm watching. Also, if you can get an owner's manual, and by that I mean a repair, where it tells you torque specs and everything, get it. It's available for most motorcycles. I know Harley Davidson's, without a doubt, they have them widely available for about $25. And you're going to have to refer to that now and again. One of the things, I'll give you an example, is your oil drain plugs. Well, you don't want to just pry on that thing until it doesn't move anymore. It has a torque setting. So follow the torque specs on it. And like that, you know, you're never going to strip that bolt. Your bike is not going to cost you a bunch of money to get repaired because you were tugging on that bolt so tight. If you have a leather seat, great time to condition it. And because of the winter, it's going to soak in for a long time. The sun does a lot of damage to leather. So if you got a leather seat or leather bags, condition them. Buy a good conditioner. Also, if you have textile bags, clean them up. Get all the old bugs and dirt off of them. Give it a good cleaning. Now I'll tell you, there's a product on Amazon made specifically for textile for keeping its waterproof ability. I'll put it in the description, so make sure and go there and look for it. Now the videos that I'm going to be producing on gear maintenance and equipment maintenance is going to cover those products, and I'm going to show you how to go about cleaning those items with the right products. So be sure and tune in for those videos. I'm going to go over a wide variety of things that maybe not all of it is for you, but you're going to find a few that are for you. So check them out. With all the money that we spend on gear and equipment, it only makes sense to take good care of it, clean it, maintain it properly, and like that it's going to last you much longer. And it's also going to stay looking good for a lot longer. Okay, so we talked about maintenance of our bikes and equipment that we use. What else is there to do? Well, if you're into touring, get a pad and start watching videos of different places where certain well-known motorcycle YouTubers go. That's what we do. So we write down a bunch of places in the area that we want to hit, and then from there we make a decision. What do we want to do? I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the different motorcycle YouTubers that do a lot of touring. Adam Sandoval, Two Lane Life, Matt Laidlaw. There's a bunch of them. On the East Coast, you have Cycle Fanatics, so on and so forth. Just do a motorcycle touring search on YouTube and a bunch of names will come up, and start clicking. Some of them are better than others. I'll tell you who in my book does some epic motorcycle rides. That's Two Lane Life. Those guys travel all around the country and they show you some really cool stuff. Now there's some guys who normally don't do great touring videos, but every once in a while they do a great one. I'll give you Cycle Fanatics. He just did a cross-country trip. He went from New Jersey to Oregon, all the way to the coast and back again. Another guy, Traveling Tall. He does some long distance trips. Matt Laidlaw. Matt Laidlaw does not cross country in my opinion, though he has been from California to Sturgis. But the places that he goes are epic. So he does some really nice videos. They're well put together. They're well thought out and well narrated. There's also another guy. What's his name? Ryan Erlacher. Now this dude does some nice videos. I believe maybe he has a 2-hour video as well. So he does one video a year and he goes to different places. Now, I will say, these videos that I'm telling you, they're best watched on TV. I don't know if you all have YouTube on your TV, but the visuals on these videos are beautiful. So to me, in the winter, that's also what I consider to be a motorcycle thing that I'm doing. Even though I'm not out there riding, I'm watching these great epic videos of these awesome rides. And that gives me inspiration to choose an awesome place to go in the summertime. Now, there's another channel out there who has a bunch of long distance riding videos. And that channel is Bronx Brothers Motorcycles. So we have one of 1 year we went out to California. We went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and all in between. We have, of course, Florida. We have Tail of the Dragon and a few others. They're all on playlists. So just go to my channel and look through the playlist and you'll see the different places that we've been. Now, two other I haven't mentioned. Great Motorcycle Roads and Roadrunner, as in Roadrunner magazine. Those two are not so picturesque. In other words, the cinematography is not so great, but the information that they give you is awesome. They give you excellent advice on different roads. If you don't know Roadrunner magazine, that's what they're all about, is going throughout the country and riding the best roads. Here's something that'll keep you busy during the winter. Social media. You can go on Facebook and start a local, and by local I mean in your area, group. And get to know that group. Get to see which riders you want to connect with. And if you don't have any riding buddies, this is a great way to make friends and get some riding buddies. In the wintertime, you guys can plan. Where are we going to go? Plan 4 or 5 trips throughout the summer. They don't have to be super far. They could be a 3 or 4 hour ride. But you're out there, you're with good people. I'll tell you what, I really enjoy riding in groups more so than by myself. I've ridden by myself. I've gone to the Blue Ridge Mountains, Appalachia, West Virginia. But I will say I enjoy it so much more in a group, especially with the knuckleheads that I ride with. We're always having a blast. We're always having fun, making fun of each other. Every gas stop is a crack up. Furthermore, with that being said, if anything happens, you know you're in good company and you're not going to be stuck in the middle of nowhere by yourself. So, start a Facebook group. Anybody can do it. All you need to do is have a Facebook account. For example, I live in Virginia Beach. I can put Virginia Beach Riders /touring, Virginia Beach Touring Motorcycles, Virginia Beach Touring Fanatic, Virginia Beach Long Distance Riders, Southeastern Virginia Touring Group, so on and so forth. You get the idea. So, Here locally, I will say I belong to a few groups. Because I have a good group of riding buddies, I haven't felt the need to hook up with guys like that. But every once in a while, I'll see a post. Who's down for a ride this Sunday? You gotta dare to take a chance. So, the other thing is, let's say you go and for whatever reason you just don't, you're not blending with the guys that are there. That has happened to me before. It's like me and those guys don't have a lot in common. So, I pick up my phone and I'm like, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, I'm like, hey guys, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. I got an emergency back home, or I gotta go to work. They just called me. And you just go. And nobody can hold you to it. So, I will say for the most part, if you go online and do something like that, you can look at the people's profile. And if you're talking for, let's say, a few weeks, a few days, you're going to get a feel for who you're dealing with. So I don't think it's that bad. I'll give you another example is, I have a buddy of mine, and he invites me with his Indian group to go on a ride each year. The first year I went, the only person I knew was him. And we've been 3 times, and I tell you what, I get along great with those guys. They ride Indians. I ride a Harley. I have taken my BMWs. They make fun of me. I make fun of them, and it's all in good fun. And at the end of the day, we go on a great ride. We break bread, and everybody goes back home. And I tell you, I really enjoy it. So my point is that this is with a group of guys that I really don't know, and I just showed up. I knew one guy, but I mean, how much? I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be stuck to his side. And then again, I'm the kind of person, I talk to anybody. If I'm bored, I'll talk to a tree. Okay, moving on to the next thing. Do you have any parts that you've taken off of your bike? Any parts that you've replaced with custom parts or chrome parts or whatever? Winter is when there's a lot of people building bikes or rebuilding bikes or refurbishing bikes. Those parts that you see as junk, somebody sees it as treasure. I don't know if you guys have seen the bikes that I have built, but I've accumulated a bunch of parts. Wheels, air filters, handlebars, fenders, all kind of stuff. Seats, foot controls. I post that stuff up on Facebook, and you just let it sit there. And lo and behold, one day you get a message, and the person is, hey, do you still have this part? Yes, I do. Where can we meet? What surprises me is that a lot of people, at least for me, I guess maybe because my prices aren't that extravagant, they don't even haggle me for the price. What I'm asking is what they've given me recently. And I'll say I've made, within this past year, I've made well over $1,000 just in takeoff parts that I've had in the garage. If you're not familiar with Facebook Marketplace, that's the place to put them. You just put it there and forget about it. And before you know it, you'll get a message and you got money in your pocket. So that's one way to not only clean out your garage, but also to sell those parts and put some money in your pocket. One of the other things I do during the winter is, and I know I already talked about it, go through my gear and see what needs replacing. You may have some worn out gloves that are just not going to make it through the season, or they're tight on you, or you're just tired of them. You can put those on Facebook Marketplace as well. Now, the other thing with that is, right now, the holidays, everything's on sale. Black Friday is this coming week, if you're watching this video in November, and Christmas time is right around the corner. All these companies have sales during the holidays. Best time to buy gear. 10%, 20% off, it adds up. So right now, go through all your gear, see what needs to be replaced. If it's still in good condition, clean it up. Put it on Facebook Marketplace, and happy shopping. What's next, and a big one for us older guys? Exercise. Yes, I don't know about you guys, but I have hip problems. When I get on the bike, my hips kill me. So I have to get on the bike a certain way. I don't throw my leg up like a young man would and just jump on the bike. I actually have to step on a foot peg to get myself up and over that seat, because if I lift my leg from the side when I sit on the bike, my hips kill me really bad. So with that being said, hip exercises. I've been doing some. You have to find out what specific exercises you need to do. I've been suffering with this for a while, and I just figured out which was the right exercise. And when I'm saying for a while, at least for the last 8 years. Now, I know a lot of guys suffer from knee problems, wrist problems, shoulder problems. Some guys have a problem holding the throttle. Their wrist hurts really bad. So whatever it is that bothers you, whatever it is that pains you, you need to figure out what's the best exercise for that. Neck exercises, another one. It depends what bike you ride, especially sport touring type of bikes, because you're kind of hunched over the tank and you have to hold your head up the whole time. On cruisers, it's not that bad. I notice when I ride the sport bike, if I go on a really long ride, I come back and the back of my neck is killing me. So exercise. And besides that, it's just good to stay healthy. So we can do a lot of this stuff at home. You don't have to join a gym. I have a few weights at home. There's so many exercises that a person can do at home. All you have to do, again, and I'm always referring you guys to YouTube, but you know, it's like I always say, you can build a rocket and go to the moon with something you see on YouTube. I tell you, there's everything on YouTube. So whatever ails you, whatever pains you, go on YouTube and watch a video, or just go online and Google it and see what exercise is best for what's bothering you. The last thing that we can do in the winter, drum roll please. The last thing that we can do in winter time is actually ride in another country. Like I said, my last video explains how we go to Florida each year. But if you have more time than just a week or 9 days, which is what we go to Florida for, you can actually go to another country and ride for a few weeks. In South America, there's a place called Freedom Ecuador. They give you the bike. It's an all-inclusive type of thing. You just need to show up and they give you the bike, and the truck actually follows you around and they take you off dirt, on dirt, to some epic, beautiful places, to some really high mountains, and you get to meet the local people of those areas, which I'll call indigenous kinda. You're going into some towns that are hundreds and hundreds of years old. So the name of these companies are Freedom Ecuador. Ride Expedition is another one. You can ride Iceland. There's an awesome video of Iceland. You can go to Colombia, Baja, Mexico, Patagonia, Argentina. You can also go to Vietnam, Thailand, Africa. Europe this time of year is cold, but you can go there as well if you want to plan it for a summertime trip. Anyway, what I'm telling you is dare to dream. You know, you may not be able to go this year, but that's what the winter time is for. How much is it gonna cost me? What equipment do I need? Where do I wanna go? And all of that planning takes place in the winter time. So bust out your notebook, start taking notes, start doing research, and see where is it that you wanna go. Maybe it's not next year, but you need to save up for 2 years to make it happen. I tell you what, that's one of my bucket list items, is to go to one of those countries and ride a dual sport motorcycle into the mountains, meeting the people. I love meeting people, and that's a great way to see different cultures. I love food. What else can I tell you? So I think that's gonna do it for this video. If you haven't yet subscribed, I really appreciate it if you did. It really helps me out. I put a lot of effort into these videos. Also, if you can give my video a like, I'd like that. Now, with everything that I've said, what do you think you'll be doing this winter? Cleaning your equipment, planning a ride, doing exercise? Let's get a little chat going in the comments. I'll tell you, I'll put my comment in there of what I'm doing. The few things that I'm doing this winter that are motorcycle related. Anyway, with all that being said, you all take care. Watch out with the crazy people on the roads, and I will catch you on the next one. Adios.